Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a blessed and amazing day on this wet day on today. But we do need the rain. Thank God for each and every one of you tuning in and being with us on today on this beautiful Tuesday, our River Live. Look, everybody, as we get ready to go into tonight's teaching, we're going to go right back into what we started on Sunday. We're still dealing with David in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, from misunderstanding to understanding. And I know for many of you all who will be viewing this or who are watching, I know a lot of you all may have felt like you was you received some misunderstanding throughout your life. You was not always understood, but over time, it's like the Lord allows certain things to begin to fall in place, and that's how we're going to also see with the life of David. So let's go ahead. We're going to read a few verses, and then we'll go right on into some notes as we dive into this word on tonight. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17. I'm going to read verse 28. 31, 33, then we'll jump over and read verse 43, I believe. So Eliab, his oldest brother, heard when he spoke to the men, and Eliab's anger arose against David. And he said, "Why did you come down here, and with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your pride and the insolence of your heart, for you have come down to see the battle." Verse 31, now when the words which David spoke were heard, they reported them to Saul, and he sent for him. Then David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail because of him. Your servant will go and fight with the Philistine." And Saul said to David, "You are not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for you are a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." Verse 43. So the Philistine said to David, "Am I a dog that you come out to me with a stick?" And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. So we're going to go into some notes on tonight. Tonight we're going to start right here. For whoever this word is for, I don't know whoever you are, whoever I'm talking to, but the real you is getting ready to be revealed. For whoever this word is for tonight, you went from being misunderstood to now you're about to come to having the understanding. And so for whoever this word is for, the real you is getting ready to be revealed. So for whoever I'm talking to on tonight, be on lookout because the real you is getting ready to be revealed. And we can also see this in the life of David. And when we look at David, he was still, even though he was anointed to be king, he still was not viewed or seen to be that one who had something great upon his life, because we got to all understand this, that when the Lord do some of his finest work, he does it in secret. So we can also see that when Samuel came and anointed David, he didn't anoint David in the presence of everybody in town. So now this is like the Lord is saying, okay, now I had Samuel to come and anoint you, but now I need to allow everybody else to see truly who's with you. And how I'm going to do this, I'm going to now allow the real you and who's with you to finally be revealed. And see, for somebody on tonight, many of you was feeling that misunderstanding. You was feeling a misunderstanding, and now being that you was feeling being misunderstood, now God is getting ready to bring understanding to you. And we can also see that the people didn't really gain an understanding of David and also who he was until after he fought the battle with Goliath. So for somebody, so we can also see that David, and watch this here also as well as we're reading some notes tonight, that one thing that also stuck out to me is that David was not able to get married. He was not able to receive the spoils or the gifts that was promised to whoever would fight and kill Goliath. David was not able to receive those things until after he fought and he won the battle against Goliath. See, for many of you all, there were certain battles or there were certain things that was in your way And God already knew that those things were there, but what the Lord, what he's actually, or what he was doing, even with David, he knew that God used or allowed Goliath to stay alive long enough, because God already knew that one day my servant David is going to come and I'm going to be with him, and I'm going to use Goliath and what his taunting, his schemes. I'm going to use everything that makes Goliath who he is. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to use this thing to now cause David to be revealed and also to be seen. And we can also see, and just remember that David was not able to receive the wife, his first wife, which was going to be King Saul's daughter. See, everything was already put out there. And I don't know whoever this word is for. Many of you are, there's some blessings, some promises. There's some recompense. There's some spoils that has your name on it. But watch this. Just like David had to endure that process in that time of having to face and defeat Goliath. And not long after he faced and defeated Goliath, now everything opened up, if you will, and now everything was released to him. But also when we go back and when you look at verse 28, one thing I also want to say on that as well is, watch this, David's oldest brother by the name of Eliab, Eliab saying or speaking the things that what he was saying to David, if you will, trying to hold David up. But I need somebody to understand on tonight that, see, even though Eliab was holding up David by the things that he spoke, or the accusations that he spoke about to David, watch this, he didn't know that trying to hold David up was also the thing that was also holding up him and his family up. See, it just wasn't at David. See, because God already had a specific purpose, a destiny, and a plan that he needed David to fulfill. But also at the same token, we can see how the Lord even allowed that to still allow, because everything that was spoken about David to get sent off, and it was able to be heard by King Saul. And then what we just read not long ago, that King Saul, he didn't even believe it, that David could go out and even fight and also win against the Philistine. And see, for somebody on tonight, there's been some things that you had to go through in life. Many of you all may have been the underdogs. A lot of you all you probably felt like, man, like you didn't even know how you was going to make it because of certain things that was either launched out, spoken, or was said, or tried to have you in a place to where it looked like there was no way of escape. Just like what we can see here with David going up against Goliath. And in everybody else's mind, everybody else, even King Saul already knew, David, you can't win this one. You going up against this giant by the name of Goliath, and he has been a warrior or a fighter from his youth. King Saul already felt like David was not going to win. But as we spoke and what we talked about on Sunday is this, that King Saul and everybody else they only looked and viewed David by his outward exterior versus looking in the spirit to see that, number one, David is moving and talking by faith. David didn't just roll up and just say or do, and he's doing something that everybody else, even some of King Saul's trained warriors, none of them stood up to even want to go and fight against Goliath because they saw what they was able to look at. They was afraid. They didn't want to do it. But David said, he told King Saul, fear not. Tell your people, don't fear. I will go out and fight against this Philistine. He had to even settle King Saul in. See, for somebody on tonight, you have been in something, you have been in a battle, you have been fighting something, and watch this, it's going to be the Lord through you who's going to be able to fight, and you're going to win whatever it is that you have been facing and going through. And see, the Lord, he allowed everything to get set up for a specific time. Why? Because he knew that was the thing that was going to use, that was going to elevate you, that was going to also launch you, that was going to also put you on the map, if you will. But he needed you to go through that because he already knew this is going to be your runway. This is going to be your launching pad. This is going to be the thing that I'm going to use to finally get you out there where everybody will be able to finally see and know your name. And that's how David was able to finally, his name was able to get put out there, not just in the common areas, but also in the realm of the kingdom where King Saul and the family was living. So for whoever you are, be in expectation, be on the lookout. So watch this. So none of David's advancement to the kingdom, it was held up. David's advancement to the kingdom was held up. And we can see that it was held. And here's what I'm saying here. His family being tax exempt was held up. David's promotion was held up. All these things was held up and could not be released until Goliath's death. See, for somebody on tonight, there's some things that have your name on it, but the Lord He wants somebody to understand on tonight that, look, you're going to have to, as you continue to keep pressing forward and as you continue to keep moving, there's certain things that, and see, some of you are that generational curse breaker. And see, as you continue to keep moving forward, no, you're not that black sheep. No, you're the one that God chose to break things off of your family, off of that bloodline that He's using to now launch you into position. And see, when He finally gets you into that place, into that position, watch this, at the right time, and when God said, okay, now I'm ready, because we got to remember promotion. Psalm 75, promotion don't come from the east, west, nor from the south. Promotion comes from above. And when God finally said, okay, enough is enough, now I'm ready to move this out of your way, and now I'm getting ready to launch whoever you are, just as we see David, he finally was able to get launched into the kingdom, into his purpose, so God could finally begin to use him like He already purposed and planned to. Goliath was in the way. Goliath was in the way, and Goliath had to go. Goliath was so much in the way. Even though he was in the way, Goliath was in the way, but if you will, he was the way. He was in the way, but he was the way that God was about to use, that was going to now lead David into the furtherance of his purpose and also his destiny. David had to go that way, even though everybody else did not want to go out and fight with Goliath. But David was the only one to finally stand up and say, I will go. And that's why we got to understand Goliath had to go, because Goliath, he was in the way. What was he in the way of? David finally getting in true position into the kingdom, and also being able to receive all of the blessings, all the promotion, all of the favor, and also his family receiving tax exemption. All those things were part of the reward that King Saul put out there for whoever would go and fight Goliath and defeat him. So somebody, everything that was held up from you is being released. And not just to you, but to your family. I say it again. Whatever, because you stayed in it, because you endured, because you continue to keep fighting the good fight, and watch this, and because you stayed in it, you continue to fight, everything that was held up from you is now getting ready to be released to you. And not only is it going to be released to you, but it's going to also be released to you and also to your family. And see, that's what we can also see this in the scriptures, how as soon as David defeated Goliath, now it was already written that his family would receive tax exemption, meaning all the money, the monies or whatever they made throughout that year, they didn't have to worry about paying taxes. That caused the family, if you will, to be able to expand monetarily, socially, also relationally, and even with influence now, because now they're not on that same status anymore. Now because they're starting to have more money staying home, they can do some more things. So it was not just David getting the blessing or the promotion, but also it hit his family as well. So no one else wanted to fight Goliath, even with all of the promises of the spoils and all of the promises of the gifts that King Saul said that for the person who will fight Goliath was going to get. Nobody else wanted to go and fight. Nobody else wanted to go and fight. After all the blessings King Saul put out there on the table, he was going to allow them to marry his daughter. Also, their family was going to receive blessings. That person was going to receive a blessing being in the family, also in the kingdom. And nobody stood up to want to go fight. But David came in, asked the question, what was going to be given to the one who wins? And because he asked the question, he was able to go and he was victorious in the end. So let me insert this before I get too deep into this. Even though David finally made that decision, and his decision was a yes to go, I need somebody to understand on tonight that your yes did not destroy your life. Whoever I'm talking to on tonight, your yes, because you said yes to go out and do something, whatever the Lord placed in your heart to do, your yes did not destroy your life. Whatever it is that you and the Lord was in conversation about, whatever he placed in your heart to do, whether it was to step out and go start your business, to go and put in your resume in for that job, whatever it is that you was able to do, whatever it was that you say yes, you will go and do it. It did not destroy your life. But here's what it did do. It came and it rearranged your life. Just like David, when he made that mind that yes, he was going to go to take the supplies to his brothers, his yes and his obedience. Come on, somebody. I know many of y'all, you have been obedient and you did some things. You was obedient and you said yes. And because you did it, it was challenging. It was tough. But your yes and your obedience, it did not destroy your life, but it came to rearrange your life. And it's getting ready to rearrange your life into what it always was supposed to be. It's going to continue to keep moving forward in the upward way. For whoever that word, for whoever you are on tonight, your yes did not come to destroy your life, but it came to rearrange your life. And I know many times we hear this cliche that it's lonely as you're going forward. It's lonely up at the top, or it's lonely as you continue to keep moving forward in life. But I need many of y'all to understand something. Let me say it to you like this. A little quote or something that I picked up along the way. Some of y'all, you may have been feeling alone, but could it be that you're feeling alone because you're on the narrow road and not many finds that narrow road? See, for some of you all on tonight, as you're obedient and you said yes, and you may feel like you're alone, could it be the opposite? Look at it from the different way when you go to Matthew chapter 7. What does it show? That road is narrow. And see, everybody don't find that narrow road. So could it be that the reason why you may not be finding a lot of people on that narrow road because it's narrow for a reason and everybody's not going to find it. But because God, he made it visible for you to see it. And because you saw it, you jumped on it and you stayed on it. Now watch what he's getting ready to do. So the narrow road is not a sign of rejection. I know many of y'all, you may feel like as you're going forward, you feel like you're the only one making moves. You're the only one doing this, doing that. And it might feel like you're being rejected at times because you're being misunderstood. But could that misunderstanding or that rejection, could it be that you're on that path and you're on that path and you're all alone on that path? And see, when you're on that pathway alone, you may seem like, man, is this a rejection? Or it may seem like you've been abandoned. Or it may seem like you're being misunderstood. You don't have no understanding there. Or others have misunderstood you. But could it be that it's only because the Lord have you on that narrow pathway? And as we continue to look at this, watch this. Here's another quote for you. When God builds, he builds roots before the fruit. When God is building, he builds roots before the fruit. So for whoever you are on tonight, if you know he has been truly building you, he's been building your roots first. So as he's building your roots, he's building the roots so that way you will be able to stand, and then you will also, your foundation will be firm. Just like when you look at trees, those trees have to have roots first. It grows down first before it grow up. So we can also look, how can we tie that in with David's life? When we look at David's life, we can see that before David went to go fight Goliath, here we can see how God was building roots in him. When God allowed David to fight a lion and a bear, that was God's way of building David's faith, building those roots, so that way David would have the confidence and also the strength to know that, hey, if I kill the lion and bear, this uncircumcised Philistine will be just like one of them. See, God had to build those roots first, so that way David would have the confidence and also the right verbiage to say when he finally got in the presence of King Saul. And that's exactly what David was able to do. He told King Saul, your servant killed a lion and bear. And also this uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them. But see, David had to go through that first. He had to see it. He had to have those roots first. And because he had the roots of fighting the lion and bear, now that gave him the confidence as well to know when that time came to face Goliath, he knew that through God he was going to win. He knew he was going to win. So for whoever you are, so somebody, everything that came out at you was for this moment. Everything that came out against you was for this moment. This moment, it carries weight, it's special, it's significant, it's very promising, and that's why everything that came out against you was for that moment. And see, everything David had to face with the lion, the bear, all that he had to face even with his older brother with the accusations, all those things led up to David having to face Goliath. And it all led up to that one moment, because that one moment in time was getting ready to push him, shift him to where he needed to be. So some of you all, you've really been going through and dealing with some things. But I only stopped by tonight to tell whoever you are about to win, and you are about to win big. How are you about to win? You're about to win in the name of the Lord. That's what's going to be your victory song. You was able to do it in the name of the Lord. That's how David was able to do it. He told Goliath, you came to me with a sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord. David didn't come to Goliath with nothing fancy. He just came and he put God's word out there. He let Goliath know who was backing him, who was with him. He said, Goliath, you came to me with a sword and a spear. This for some of you all, you may have been feeling it with relationships. You may have been feeling it even with lack. You may have been feeling it with things even financially. Whatever the case or whatever you may have been feeling it in, now your way or your victory through it is going, your word is, I'm coming to you in the name of the Lord. And when you come in the name of the Lord, now we're going to have to say it. And when we say it, we're going to have to say it with that confidence and also with that faith, knowing that, Lord, look, you got me here. I know that we got the victory, and we know that you're going to see us through to the end of this. And as we get ready to close on tonight, somebody, please remember that whatever it is, you're getting ready to win big. And also, the bigger the opposition, the bigger the reward. Stuff that was held up from you is being released. But Goliath had to fall first in David's life. He had to fall first. No matter what you're going through, stay the course. You're on track for a breakthrough. God cleared Israel and also David's space of the disdain and also the reproach that came from Goliath and also from the Philistines. God came in there and he cleared all of Israel and also all of David's space that he was going to occupy. It was time to clear from all of the negative debris that was launched or put out there towards David, towards Israel, all of the disdain, all of the reproach, anything that was put out there negatively against God, Israel, and David. God had allowed that one move by David eliminating Goliath that caused all of the disdain and all of the reproach to finally be removed, and Israel and David was delivered, and God continued to shift and take his people to the next level. God is using someone to clean house and make room by getting rid of your reproach. God cleared David's name and shut down the anger of his oldest brother. Many of y'all, whatever you have been going through, God is getting ready to come on in there at his time. And when he show up, he's coming in, he's going to come in, and whatever that thing is that was blocking you or that was in your way, he's coming in to move it out of the way through you, to move it out of the way. And when it's finally moved, it's about to clear house and also clear space, and also going to clear everything like how we see that it was clear now for the children of Israel, David. Now God could finally move freely in the life of David and also his people. All right, everybody, my time is up. I hope something was said to help encourage you, to strengthen you through God's word on tonight, to give many of you clarity as you continue to keep fighting the good fight of faith, and as you have been continuing to keep pressing forward. And as the title said on tonight, from misunderstanding to understanding. So many of y'all, I know you have been misunderstood for a season, but God is about to bring understanding. So that way, not only is he going to bring in understanding, but he's going to also bring in clarity for you and for others to know truly who you are in him. We love you till we do this again. God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your night.